great is hard. And sometimes it sucks because you don't know how to rectify the great schism that happens within you internally, because you have to play the role of two different people, okay? Who you are in your purpose and who you are with just people. And you have to deal with this internal battle all the time to make sure that you're not stepping over one side of yourself or making sure one side is getting more attention or one side is lacking more than the other. There's 1,000 things that you have to figure out when it comes to being great, which is the reason why we do this podcast, because I believe that the person watching this is going through this same thing, because you want to be great and you're trying to be great. And the balancing act of trying to be who you are, who you're supposed to be in a certain time, a certain season, sometimes is more challenging than the actual purpose and actions that you're trying to be great in. But it's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we talk. That's why we open up this dialogue. That's why we have this discussion. Let's get rocking and rolling. Welcome to the Narrative of Niles Niseem. It's good to see you again. Let's go. And we are back with another episode of the Narrative of Niles Niseem with me, your boy, Niles Niseem, here to bring you 10 to 15 minutes of weekly motivation so that you can become the person that you want to become. Listen, greatness is hard. Greatness is hard. Especially when you know in the fiber of your being, right, that you got something on the inside of you that can really just change the world. Okay? But you got to figure out, what are you going to do in between the stages of when you're doing your purpose and when you're around people? Okay? This great schism that is caused with us internally can be a multitude of different factors, okay? One, it can be from people trying to impose false humility on us, okay? And a lot of times when people impose false humility on us, it's a way of them showing their jealousy or their insecurity. What they're really saying is, hey, I see what you got going on. I'm going to tell you to be humble, even though you're already humble. I'm going to make you feel like you're cocky because I don't want your light shining too bright around me, because it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm not doing enough. It's those same people that say, oh, you're doing the most. You might be doing the most, or they might not be doing enough at all. Okay, so you have the false humility thing that creates imposter syndrome within you, and it makes you feel like, okay, I got to be this person on stage, and then I also have to be something completely half of that, even less than half of that when I get off stage to make people feel comfortable. Okay, you have that. Or it could come from the simple fact of, hey, it's not other people trying to impose false humility on you. Maybe it's a you thing. Maybe when you get off stage, you feel weird. You feel like it's too much pressure. The weight is too heavy. You don't feel like you deserve the praise or the accolades or the hand claps that you're getting. Okay, so you intentionally shrink yourself so that you can return to some kind of normal form so that you can deal with interactions better. Sometimes it's a coping mechanism. Sometimes it's one of those things that we do to ourselves because we just aren't comfortable in our own skin and who we are supposed to be. So we have that great schism. And we cause ourselves to rip into two and be two different people in two different spaces. Sometimes you just want to make sure that you actually are doing right by people. You haven't figured out the difference between arrogance and confidence. And in that ability to where you are missing the link or the bridge between two of those things, sometimes you're just like, hey, to heck with it. It's better for me to be at 10 when I'm on stage and then come down to a 0. It's better for me to be upstage, being confident. As soon as I get off, put on the cape of self-deprecation and loathing and insecurity so that, hey, at least I'm not perceived as arrogant. There's 1,000 ways you can go when it comes to trying to rectify the great divide within yourself, okay? But I'm here to tell you that it can't be, and it is a process. I'm currently in that process right now. I have all three of those things that I just talked about going for me as far as why I feel like there has been a great divide within me. Because, listen, I'm going to be honest. People have tried to push the false humility gimmick on me. They have. Even though I don't think highly of myself, because I don't know why you would think highly of yourself, because there's always someone more talented and better than you at what you do. Trust. So the people have always tried to make sure, like, oh, let's just make sure, just in case, at any point in time, if you're feeling too good, let's just bring you down a peg. which is really not their job. That's more the Lord to keep me in check and myself. But people have done that, and I've felt like I needed to be falsely humble more than I need to. I haven't been able to accept the hand claps or the praise or the high fives or the good jobs because I just don't know how to. And I'm working on it and I'm getting better at it and I'm learning how to, because when you do good work, you deserve to be able to look back at your work and be proud of it. Being false humility it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help the people that you are supposed to help. It doesn't give any more glory to God in any kind of way. No, it's a lie anyway, because it's false humility. You don't even feel that way. You're putting on an act and a gimmick. Now, it's not to say you need to feel that you're better than anyone, but it's a gimmick. It's a mask. People can hide behind insecurity. And speaking of hiding behind insecurity, again, I have a lot of insecurities where sometimes I feel like a fraud. So because I feel like a fraud, I feel like, all right, when I get off stage, there is no reason for me to be a holier than thou. Because some of the stuff that I feel is from other people, and some of that stuff is from me. Because I don't feel like I'm at the level of where I was supposed to be, or I didn't feel like I was at the level I was supposed to be. So guess what? If I'm not at the level where I'm supposed to be, the job's not done. And if the job's not done, what the heck are we down here shaking hands, kissing babies for? When we're around people, what are we out here allowing ourselves to take the compliment or feed into it? There's nothing to take in or feed into. We haven't got the job done. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it moving. Terrible way to think, but that's all I thought. Okay. Then on top of that, I was raised where my mom taught me to be a simple man, a good man. And I want to be a good man. And I'm scared that my ego can get out of control when chasing greatness, because the more you do, the more you have on your resume, the more you have on that resume, the more you are undeniable to the people and to yourself. And when you get to a certain point, it's very hard not to have an ego when you can look at your resume and the list of your accomplishments and say, yeah, this is what I do, this is what I can do, and I've done that. And I never want to get a big ego, because this thing called life will shoot you down in a moment. And who am I? I'm a nobody in a sense. I'm a somebody, but you get what I'm saying. So in order for me not to have a big ego, what do? So I split myself in two. Put on the mask of insecurity, put on the mask of humility, quote unquote, and walk throughout life trying to play myself down. But at some point, you get tired of that. And if you're watching this right now, then I know good and dang well you understand that you get tired of having to keep up both sides of you. Trying to jump from 0 to 10 all the time ain't fun. It ain't easy. That's not how it's supposed to be. There has to be balance. You have to figure out a way to rectify that schism within you and find a meeting point, a middle point, to where you can say, hey, I am confident in what I do. Yes, the Lord has blessed me with a gift. He has blessed me with a purpose. He has blessed me with a talent. And this is what I'm supposed to do. I am born to do this. Listen, when it comes to me and this mic and telling stories and performing at a high level and selling out stadiums and talking to thousands of people, even though some of that stuff hasn't happened yet, I know that this is what God has blessed me to do. I was born to do this, to tell stories, to make moments for people, to give them their money's worth, to put on a show. That's what I was born to do. And I make no hesitations about it and no reservations about it. And guess what? I'm good at it. I'm great at it. But here's the thing. I acknowledge that I'm good and I'm great at it, but I also acknowledge that I'm nowhere near what I want to be. I still have room to grow. I acknowledge that there are people better than me, far better than me. I acknowledge that I believe that although I'm good, although I'm great, there are still people who are better than me. They got more worth than me right now. And I just keep it honest with myself. Acknowledging me doesn't mean that I'm putting down someone else, which is a lesson we all got to learn. I'm good at what I do. But just because I'm good at what I do doesn't make me better than anybody, in the sense of it doesn't make me more valuable than anybody. It doesn't make someone else a lowly ant and me this big lion. No. I'm just a human, just like everybody else. A human that's good at what he does. And so are you. You are a human just like everybody else. You are good at what you do. You can acknowledge that you are good at what you do, but you can also make sure that you acknowledge that just how much you got to grow. And when you can acknowledge both, you'll see that that schism starts to widen down. Because what happens is that once you can acknowledge you in the full spectrum of you, you can be you around people, and you can be yourself within your purpose. You don't have to switch or rectify those two things, right? You don't have to sit there and try to tone yourself down around one group of friends because they may just not be able to handle your light, and then turn the brightness up as soon as you get on stage or in front of your art piece or behind the instrument or behind the mic or wherever it is. But here's the thing. The question is, sometimes you're not good at acknowledging you. And so if you're not good at acknowledging you, and you still can't figure out how to make sure that you can be the same person on stage and off, you got to remember that sometimes there's something working against you that's far bigger than you, and it's your environment. It's the people you're around. And because it's the people you're around, now you have to really make sure that you understand, I need to change the people who I'm around. It doesn't make the people that you are around bad. It doesn't make them evil. It doesn't make them anything less than just people. But if you want to rectify the space between the person you are, your purpose, and the person you are with people, got to find better people, got to find a better environment, got to find people that you know you can be your greatest self around. And if you're not your greatest self right then and there, they will push you to be that. You need people that if you said, hey, I want to colonize Mars, they'll go and ask you, well, how much is the rocket? That's the kind of people and friends you need to be around. People that make you think that no dream is too big or too small, that you're never doing the most. Well, they can call you out on your BS. They also need to keep you accountable. Let's be very clear. Whether you are doing the most or not doing enough, they can't keep you out. When I mean doing the most, you know what I mean? No dream is too big. People where you can let your light shine and it's not too bright because they have their own light. And together you guys can create this flame that is a beacon of hope for people all around you. People that are going to be there for you when you get off the stage or when you get off doing your purpose. That's who you need to find. Because those people will acknowledge you, and those people will help you acknowledge you, because they will not allow you to sit there and disrespect the thing that God put within you. No more of that false humility. You can be with them. You can say, hey, I think I did a great job. And they can say, you did. Or they can say, hey, maybe we need to look at it from this perspective. We need to get better here. That's why you have those kind of friends. But some of you guys right now are so attached to the people that you're with right now, the people who don't believe in you, the people who are not pushing you, the people who are making you feel small, the people who make you feel like you have to shrink. But because of comfort and because of not wanting to step out and trying to go to new places and be in new environments, you're stuck with them, and it's stunning your growth. And it's not just stunning your growth, it's hurting you. Because that divide, that being two different people, that duality of greatness will eat you alive. And you will see, you will get tired very fast. You'll get sad very fast. You'll get confused very fast. And it will boil over into other things in your life. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. I say all this to say that you can find balance within the duality of greatness. You don't have to necessarily code switch. In fact, God's not asking you to code switch. You can be the person that you want to be. You can be the person that you were born to be. And you can find people who can accept you for that. And not only can you find people that can accept you for that, you yourself can acknowledge where you're going and where you need to grow. I like that. Where you're going to go and where you need to grow. And then by acknowledging those things, you can be confident, yet still humble. You can be self-assured, yet self-aware without having to be self-deprecating. Just a thought. I love you. I'll see you next episode.